Hey YouTube, welcome to the first episode of CJ's Cosplays. I've been thinking about doing this channel for a couple years now, and I'm really excited to be able to start doing it. Over the past few years I've gotten really into doing cosplay and you know, some prop replicas and stuff. So I wanted to be able to share with you guys what I'm working on, share some video footage of some projects that I've got upcoming, some things that I want to do some movie reviews possibly, definitely, talking about purchase reviews. Something I really want to do, reviewing different things that I buy from different sellers, whether they're prop makers or cosplayers overseas or what have you. But I got a lot of cool stuff in store for you, so I thought that we would kick off the first episode of my vlog with something that's pretty freaking cool in my opinion. If you can't tell based on my shirt what we're doing today,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I picked this up from Walmart.com. This is the Walmart exclusive Baby Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I'll give you a little look at the back. So Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This is a 1-to-1 scale replica of Groot in the film. I opted to go with this one instead of the Hot Toys one just because, I mean, the Hot Toys one is fantastic. It's so lifelike and it's got all those points of articulation, but it's also $149 right now, which is a steep price, especially when you are trying to do cosplay and you're spending lots of money on other stuff. And it was really just an accessory for me, so I decided to go with this instead. Previously I used the Ruby's Baby Groot figure. It is a latex foam figure that sits on your shoulder, and you use a strap to get it across. It's really cool when you get it on there. I might install a magnet into it and put it under my jacket, but the issue is it just doesn't look good when you have the strap going across the jacket. I used to pull it off when I wore my old Star-Lord jacket, which was just one that I bought from Amazon, but with my new white cheap leather jacket, it takes away from the jacket. It just makes it look like garbage when you have to strap across. So I picked this bad boy up for $5 from Walmart's website. It was another $5 for shipping, but who cares really when you're spending $10 on something that you can make look awesome. And it's got so much incredible detail in the face and all over the suit, and I'm just really excited to just get to work on this. It's going to be loads of fun, and I'm really excited to share with you guys my process in making this. So stay tuned and let's get cracking. So I first started with just unboxing the Groot figure, plain and simple. It's looking really great. It's got some great detail in there, some interesting pink colors. I'm definitely just going to age that up a little bit with some black shoe polish later on. It's got great movement in the joints. Really not too worried about that because I'm going to use him as a display piece. He's not really going to be moving around a lot, but it's just nice that he can do that. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take some nail polish remover and you're just going to wipe off all the protective coating on it and just kind of dull some of the paint a little bit, make it easier to paint later on. Then you're going to take black acrylic paint. You're going to cover all of the wood parts of Groot. So you're going to do the head, the hands, and the feet. So next up, you're going to take your brown enamel paints. I'm using two different ones. I'm using a darker one and a gloss one. You're just going to put that on over that. It's going to come out really muddy looking, but that's, that's totally fine because we kind of want Groot to look a little aged up, and he's some wood who's been through some things. So also that's going to help when we go in for detailing later on, because pretty much after all of this we're just going to be dry brushing on lighter coats until we get a really nice color that we like. I'm also going to take some of that brown and wipe it all over the Ravager suit just to make it look like he's been running through dirt and whatnot.
Okay, so the next thing I'm doing now, I'm going in with some nail polish remover to clean up the eyes a little bit. I should have taken some masking tape and taped that off before, but I had completely forgotten to, and I kept having to clean it later on. So now what I just did is I mixed up my own tan color. I didn't have any with me, and I kind of really like the way that this came out, was mixing just some regular white acrylic paint with the darker brown that I had. It was a milk chocolate color by Americana, I believe is the name. I'm going to put links to the same paints that I used down in the description. And you're just going to dry brush that on. The key to this is making sure that you're not fully covering the brush in paint, just a little bit of paint to drag along top of that color. And you can see now some of the detail is showing through, and he's looking a little more like Groot. So now I'm going to go in with my Model Makers or Model Masters silver enamel paint. Make sure that you use a really tiny detail brush for this, and be sure that you clean your brushes properly after this. See, I'm also going in with Model Masters gold to get some of those gold detailings and just make it look a little shiny. But if you get this on the figure, don't really worry about it, because you can always take some nail polish remover to that. So my next step was a big step back for me. I used black shoe polish, or what I thought was black shoe polish. Normally I would use a different kind, but the one that I had was a black shoe cover instead, and instead of getting into the crevices to just wipe off, it kind of stained the figure. This wasn't really a big deal, because I was able to go in with a paint that I mixed up later and put this on top of that, and it really made him look more like Groot. So I'm actually happy that I made this mistake, but in the future I might not do this, just because I don't want to have to spend the extra time that I did. I'm also taking this and wiping it on the Ravager suit, which worked fine for that, just because it makes him look really dirty. So now I went in with my lighter paint that I mixed up again, and it really kind of made him start looking more like he does in the movie. It gave him a lighter, almost grayish brown, or tan I should say, and it really just made him come more to life and look a lot younger and less maniacal, actually. The darker that Groot looks, because of all the grooves and everything, you really don't get to see the happiness on this figure's face, and it just kind of makes him look sad. So here you can see Groot after all the painting that I did. I have a few more steps to do next, but here's when I decided to take a couple hours of break. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go in with your green acrylic paints. I mixed this green with that light tan mixture that I had before, and then I put some white in it and a little more brown, and I wound up coming up with the perfect Groot color. You can see as it goes on there, it's got kind of a mossy-ish color, and he's got this weird green, gray, tan color in the movie, and once I put this on, the figure really just started to come to life. I'm going to go in around the eye holes just to kind of lighten his eyes up a little bit with the dark brown around it. It just made him look really like old and like he had deep set in eyes. So again, you're dry brushing this on. You don't want to paint this color on. So you're going to dip in the paint only a little bit, and if you have to wipe off some excess, feel free to do so. You just don't want to clog up the pores or the seams on the figure, because that's what all your detailing was before, and you don't want to have to redo it all again later. Alright, so even though we have those details in there, what you're going to want to do is go in with a really fine detail brush. So the one that I'm using a brown that I mixed up from mixing a little bit of black and my two browns together. I'm going into each and every one of those little crevices with that really tiny detail brush and just spreading the paint through. If you get it in spots you don't really want it, don't worry, it's fine, because after we do this, we're going to go in with that same brown that we mixed up before, and we're going to dry brush that on top of this. you're going in all of these crevices, so this is without a doubt the most time-consuming part of this job. I think I probably spent a total of 40 minutes going in just to make sure that I got every little line in there. So now I'm going in again with that same color that I mixed up before, and I'm just dry brushing it on. Go really, really lightly in this step, because if you don't, you're going to fill up all of those seams that you just painted, and you're going to have to redo it completely again. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm going in with some regular red acrylic paint. I'm going to use another detail brush, and I'm just going to go along the lines that are on the right side of the figure. So now you're going to go and take your dark green, and you're going to lightly dry brush that on the top of Groot and in the seams on the top. And then once you do that, you're going to go in with that other green that we used before. This is kind of like a mossy green, and you're going to go on top of that. Again, you can go lightly here because we still have those seams. Now I'm using some acetone again to clean up the eyes, and I'm going to go in with a Mod Podge to fill in the eyes and kind of give him like a glossy look. This is a gloss Mod Podge. So now I'm just going in with some acetone to clean up some of those areas that are really dark on the figure. So now you're going to go in with your detail brush again, and using the darker green, you're going to go all over the little veins that he has. They're veins, they're more like vines actually, but it's kind of funny.
Alright guys, so I just finished painting Groot. Right now I'm waiting for the gloss to dry on his eyes, waiting for the Mod Podge to dry. He's all finished being painted, so let's go and see how he looks. Welcome back everybody. As you can see, Groot is all finished. I'm pretty happy with how he came out, to be honest. Took a lot of work. I think the biggest struggle for me was figuring out what paints to use exactly for him, because he's kind of like, he's got so many different shades of green in him, as well as the browns, and it was finding that perfect mix. I was going to seal the paint, but I don't have any matte sealer right now, so pretty much all if you want to do is you want to find a matte acrylic sealer. Everything I have is gloss, and we don't want him to be glossy because he's made of wood. Thank you guys so much for watching the first episode of my vlog and my custom collectibles. Gonna put him right in here. Thank you everybody for watching the first episode of CJ's Cosplays. I had a really great time making this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. You can follow me on Instagram at CosplayCJ. I'll have that link down in the description. Also, I'm gonna have a link down in the description to my Etsy shop where you can pick up your own Baby Groot. I'm also selling him on the Star-Lord cosplay group on Facebook. If you guys like Guardians of the Galaxy and you like cosplaying, I suggest you join this group. It's fantastic. There's so many great sellers on there. Shout outs to Cosplay Chris, who's a a huge inspiration for this video. Also, 3D printed props is a big influence on me. He's a really great guy. Big Hero Vince, he gave me a lot of help on this. Rick Legendary, who also has a YouTube channel. Check out these guys, they're great artists. They know what they're doing and they're really easy to talk to. They give a lot of help on all projects you can imagine. So, for my next custom collectible, I have a little sneak peek for you guys. It's a project that I've been wanting to work on since I saw this item. It's fantastic and it was so worth the money. Unfortunately, the price went up since they came out last year, but I was able to get one for a decent price and I'm super excited about it. You can tell by this. Yeah, looks like a fun time. See you later, everyone. Boom!